You guys break you guys up. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the April 6th Sparc meeting. Let the record show that the regular Sparc meeting for April 6th is now called to order and a quorum is present. Approval of agenda. Are there any items to be added, deleted, or reordered on the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Please call a roll vote.
Let's do a roll call simultaneous with the vote. How's
I'm
that?
sorry. I
That's
skipped.
okay. It's two birds, one stone. Let's start with you, Dean. Dean,
Here.
and yay or nay? Let's do a simul.
And yay.
Yay. Okay. Dr. Tuthill.
Present.
Okay. Want to vote on the agenda? Excuse me. Also, Dr. Tuthill?
Yes.
Yay. Yay? Yay? Is that it? Stephanie Price?
Here and yes.
Thank you. Kathleen Pishney?
Here and yay.
Great. Linda Maricall?
Here and yay.
Ken Fox? Michelle Dressler?
Here and yay.
Cindy Carlton?
Here, yes.
Dan Bickford?
Here, yes.
Nita Bautista? Here and yes. Absent is Ryan McCarthy. Motion passes.
Agenda passes. Now, let's approve the minutes for February 2nd, 2023. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes? Oh,
Motion to approve.
looks like we have Ryan.
We'll mark you
As
here
a-
after the approval of the agenda.
Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second it.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Let's call for a vote to approve the minutes for February 2nd.
Anita Batista. Here. Dan Bickford.
Yes.
Cindy Carlton.
Yes.
Michelle Dressler. Ken Fox. Ryan McCarthy.
Yes.
Linda Maricall.
Yes.
Kathleen Pishney.
Yes.
Stephanie Price.
Yes.
Dr. Alan Tuthill. Dean Velasco.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion passes. Now, I'm not sure when somebody comes in late. Just
Note them as late.
okay. We'll note them.
And
He
this
is
vote
here.
does count for this portion.
Excellent. Okay. Number 4. Let's talk about community project funding, congressional direct spending. Senior Nick.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to inform this esteemed group that we've been busy here at the City of Santee. We've been getting ready to submit a few items, and we want to make this community great. And for that reason, I want to inform you guys that we did submit 2 projects to our federal representatives. So I just want to kind of give a background on what a congressional earmark is. And these are funding opportunities made possible by the federal government. So we're essentially sending these requests to Senator Dianne Feinstein, Senator Alex Padilla, to also include Congressmember Darrell Issa. Like I said, the City of Santee requested 2 park-related projects. One of those projects was the Big Rock Trailhead project that I briefly talked about 2 meetings ago, and I'll go into a little bit more detail today. The second project is to essentially put more EV charging stations in our Santee parks and also City Hall. As we all know, we already have 2 of these apparatuses here in town. One of them here is at City Hall, and the other one is at Mass Park. So, Margie, would you be so kind enough to start my slides, please? Okay, so right here, here's the first project. It is just south of Big Rock Park on Mesa Road. As you can see, is relatively pretty close to the pickleball apparatuses, and it's right next to the Big Rock area where we have all our dog park enthusiasts out there. As you can see, this is actually Cowles Mountain East, but many people know this trailhead as Big Rock Trailhead. It's a connection feeder to Mission Trails, and this is the general location of where these enhancements are going to be taking place. It's to say in a very respectful manner that many individuals attend Big Rock Park and they enjoy all the features. It's one of our older parks, but it's also one of our busiest parks as well. With that said, there's a lot of lack of parking here at this park. We have a good relationship with the school district, and we want to maintain that good relationship. So with that said, we're going to be providing a few parking amenities in this general area to also improve some enhancements. And some of those enhancements I'll go over in this next slide. Please, Margie. Oop, that's a little rough right there. Okay, so if you could see a little bit closer, we're going to be having a few enhancements here, and I'll go over them. So at the top, you'll start off by seeing that we do have a future pad for a future restroom building, as you see on the top right-hand side. We're going to have concrete picnic tables, a trail kiosk, decomposed granite surfacing all around the entire apparatus area. Also interpretive signs that talk about the trail amenities at Mission Trails, which is essentially ran by a JPA with the County of San Diego and the City of San Diego. So I do want to make this very clear. This land that we're proposing this project on is not on Santee-owned property. It is within Santee city limits, but it's actually owned by the County of San Diego. So we're actually trying to work with them in a collaborative nature. In the event we do get this congressional earmark from some of our federal supporters, we want to make sure that we have their support as well. Because the last scenario we want to be faced with is having the money and not being able to build it because we don't have the support of the county or the city. So moving on, we do have some shade shelters there as well. And like I previously mentioned, the biggest problem we have is parking. So with that said, we're also going to be putting in an 18-slot parking lot area to also include EV charging. So there's another location for EV. With that said, the goal of this essential apparatus is to make it more aesthetically pleasing for the community, provide more parking opportunities, and really make this a destination for the city of Santee. You know, we have a lot of good resources when it comes to trails, and we want to bring more people into Santee. This is not only going to benefit our residents here in Santee, but it's also going to benefit East County residents to also include the collective of San Diego County. This is going to be, if received funding, one of the most sophisticated trails Mission Trails has. So we are hopeful that we receive this funding from our federal supporters. With that said, the next project, Margie, please. So the next project, you'll see here that we are trying, like I mentioned earlier, to get more EV charging stations here in our city. We have, like I mentioned, 2 charging slots already here at Santee City Hall. We're trying to put 2 more. We do not have any at Woodglen Vista, but we're trying to add 2 stations there. I'm working my way from top to bottom, if you don't mind. And at Town Center Community Park, it does say 5, but there's actually 6 stations. And for Shadow Hill Park, we're proposing 4 stations. So, Margie, would you be so kind enough to do the next slide? Here, I have a little schematic, more of an engineer's display, so it might be a little confusing to decipher, but if you could see here, we're looking at City Hall charging location. So here's Building 3. We're going to be essentially trying to propose these new 2 charging slots right next to the existing 2 charging slots. Next slide, please. Here we have Shadow Hill Park. We're going to be putting 4 slots right next to the restroom at Shadow Hill. So as you can see, this will, take a few slots from our regular combustion engines, but it'll provide more opportunities for our EV participants. Next slide, please. So here we have Town Center Community Park, our crown jewel, our king of the parks. As you can see, we have 5 slots right next to the amphitheater, and we also have 1 ADA charging slot that's more to the right-hand section. So that completes a total of 6 EV charging slots. Margie, next slide, please. And here we have Woodglen Vista, which is our last destination of a proposed EV slot. It's going to be right next to the canopy/pavilion on my left, on the right-hand side of your screen. So with that said, I just wanted to go over this and just ensure that this body was aware of all the things that we're doing here in the city of Santee and what staffers are doing. I can't take all the credit for this, of course. Our city engineer team did a phenomenal job putting this together and worked on cost estimates, so they literally did most of the work. So I definitely want to give credit where it's due, and I also want to commend staff for working collectively with our offices as well to get this done. So far, we've had 1 meeting with Senator Feinstein's office to talk about both of these projects. Hopefully, over the next few weeks, we'll be getting more calls to set up some interviews with Darrell Ice's office and hopefully Padilla's office. And I'll be sure to inform this esteemed body of any progress made. Any
Awesome.
questions?
Thank you.
I have a couple questions. First of all, I don't remember hearing you say that you talked to the county already about the trailhead.
We did.
Okay. The other thing, the EV stations, I do not have an EV.
Okay.
Do people pay to use them, or is this free charging for them?
you pay.
Okay. Why are they close to the front? I mean, they're almost like handicap spots as far as what? The EVs are more important than the combustion?
It's just, this was where the closest conduit areas are. I mean, I could definitely touch base with our engineer and see if there's any other comments for any other selections, but these are the items that we've already sent over, but we could definitely keep in mind for future development some of these concerns.
Well, because I notice, I mean, I see a lot of them are, they tend to be closer to buildings, but like, I guess there's unseen electricity in Wood Glen Vista.
Okay.
I mean, I don't see the electricity, but they're like up close, but,
Well, those are fair points, Cindy.
okay,
Yeah, well noted.
thank you.
Thank you. I'll make a note of those.
Yes, Dan?
Yeah, the restroom pad at Big Rock, how far along is that going to be? It's going to have all the water, sewer, and everything to it
Have all the
already?
connection lines and just, essentially, we're gonna just try to have a prefab restroom, just sit on top and get it ready to go. So we're just trying to prepare for the future.
Right.
In the event we have another $400,000 lying around in the foreseeable future. And, did I say that right? Yeah, right. And that's the goal, because
Yeah.
just to give you more background on that, so these community grant funding projects, they're typically capped at $2 million. So with the restroom, it actually came out to be 2.2. So we actually downgraded it to 1.7 and removed the restroom. So we submitted under 1.7 million.
Yeah, I understand what you're doing. It's just that, going out there and pouring concrete isn't even half the job.
I know.
Getting the facilities out there to support that restroom is,
That's an astute assessment.
yeah. Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Linda?
I had a couple questions. On that restroom, I think that's a great location because a lot of times to trek up to that elderly, horrible bathroom, if you've been in there, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's disgusting. And it's just so old and run down. It gives you an eerie feeling. So a new restroom in that site would be probably very welcomed. My question too is on this existing concrete foundation to be removed. Why are we removing that old foundation? It's been there for 40 years. It was a house that had burnt down when I was a kid. So
This was a
not a kid, but-
recommendation from our DDS department. I could follow up with them. Nothing is final in stone right now. These things are still in concept, but we did submit them for consideration for funding. I don't have any concrete information as to why, no pun intended, no concrete information as to why we're removing this concrete apparatus/foundation, but I could definitely inquire. But I think the concept here is to just get a good cohesive, just easement land issue if we have any foreseeable issues going with this development.
Well, because it's set so far out. I know where it is.
So I actually do have a few more comments. So I do know that that area is a popular area for vagrants. And
Yeah.
For some.
They burnt the house down.
Undesirable activities. So with that said, I think we would be probably doing a due diligence to the county if we removed it.
Yeah, that slab's going to be expensive to haul out, and it takes precious money away from this project.
That's a good point.
That's,
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's,
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
done.
Thank you. Ryan, you had?
My question was just, are the EVs required to get the federal funding? Was it like if you have an EV charging station built into your plans, it's more likely to pass?
We need, sorry, Ryan, could you please repeat yourself with the microphone on?
Do you have your microphone on?
I don't.
Yeah, remember there's a lot of folks at home watching, so.
When we submit the request for the grant money, as the EV charging station make it more likely for it to pass? It seems like a lot of the grant money lately coming from the feds is based on EV charging, so I was wondering if that was part of the criteria.
No, it's a strong criteria. I know a lot of the EV monies are mainly going to the Midwest right now. California doesn't seem to be getting enough, but anything we could request for, we definitely will get. But the EV concept is definitely a big growing trend here in California, and that's what we really wanted to take advantage of. So that makes sense.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Is that the end of your
That's
presentation?
it. I just wanted to give this esteemed group just an update on this, and hopefully
Well, it looks exciting. I hope we get some money.
that'd be nice.
Okay, let's move on to Sparc elections of officers. Before we move to that, I wanted to talk about a few key tips to remember. One of them being secret ballots are not allowed. Also, before a motion may be considered, it must be seconded. So tonight, when you nominate somebody, that'll be a motion to nominate somebody, and somebody's going to have to second that. A motion may be withdrawn at any time by the maker with the second's consent. A second may be withdrawn and the motion lost unless the motion is seconded by another. Vote on the most recent motion first. If the motion passes, it extinguishes motions below, except for motions to amend. If the motion fails, then vote on the next motion one level down. The basic motion puts forth a decision for the body's consideration. So, with that, I would like to open up nominations for the chair position. Yes,
I would like to nominate Dean Velasco to be chair.
I'll second.
Okay. Any other nominations for chair? Okay.
We'll take a verbal vote, yay or nay. Anita Batista? Yes or no? Would you like Dean to be chair? No. Okay. Dan Bickford?
Yes.
Cindy Carlton?
Yes.
Michelle Dressler?
Yes.
Ken Fox? Ryan McCarthy?
Yes.
Linda Miracle?
Yes.
Kathleen Fishney?
Yes.
Stephanie Price?
Yes.
Alan Tuthill?
Yes.
Dean Velasco?
Yes.
Chair position is determined with the majority of vote.
Thank you. Now we are going to move on to vice chair. Do we have a motion to nominate someone for vice chair?
I'll nominate Dan Bifford.
Any other nominations for vice chair? I would, yes.
I nominate Cindy Carlton.
Okay.
I second that.
Okay. Am I doing that right?
Excuse me, who was the second?
There was a second for Cindy Carlton.
By whom?
Stephanie.
Okay, sorry, Stephanie.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second for Cindy.
I second for Dan Bickford.
There we go. We have a motion and second for Dan Bigford. You have to do the Dan Bigford. Dan Bigford first, right? 'Cause- okay. Any other nominations for vice? Okay, we are going to take a vote on Dan Bigford for vice chair.
Yea or nay, verbal vote, I'll go through. Anita Batista? Yea or nay, would you like Dan to be the chair, vice chair? Yes. Dan Bickford?
Yes.
Cindy Carlton?
No.
Michelle Dressler? No. Ken Fox? Ryan McCarthy?
Yes.
Linda Miracle?
Yes.
Kathleen Pishney?
No.
Stephanie Price?
No.
Alan Tuthill?
Yes.
Dean Velasco?
No.
It passes 6-5.
Excellent. Now, the next one in line is going to be secretary. Do we have any nominations for secretary? I would like to nominate Michelle Dressler for secretary.
I'll second that.
I'd like to second that.
Cindy? Any other nominations for secretary? Yes, Anita.
I'd like to nominate
No.
Stephanie.
I'll second that.
Okay, we left one step out that I know we talked about. do we have to ask if they accept their nomination? Is that part of this, or
Yeah, I guess they could speak up and say they don't accept.
can we do a hostile, make her be the secretary?
Can I get some clarification? I'm sorry, I'm behind here and I can't see, and there's nothing on the board, but the nomination for secretary was for Cindy, excuse me, the first nomination, could you clarify?
It was for Michelle,
Michelle.
and it was first and second.
By
The second came from
Dean and
Cindy.
Cindy? Okay, thank you. And then Stephanie,
Anita nominated Stephanie, and
yeah,
Dan seconded.
Thank you.
Sorry.
sorry, it's hard to see from the back and voices sound similar.
So, Stephanie, you can gracefully say no if you.
Thank you, but no, thank you.
Declined.
Okay, so that has been pulled, and we have a vote for Michelle being secretary.
Correct. I'll do a verbal vote, yea or nay, for Michelle for secretary. Anita Batista. Yes. Dan Bickford.
Abstain.
Cindy Carlton.
Yes.
Michelle Dressler. Yes. Ken Fox. Ryan McCarthy.
Yes.
Linda Miracle.
Yes.
Kathleen Pishney.
Yes.
Stephanie Price.
Yes.
Ellen Tuthill. Yes. Dean Velasco.
Yes.
Michelle is awarded the secretary position.
Excellent, thank you. Next item to chat about is item number 6, staff report and park updates. Nick and Ann.
Okay, let me get started. Just want to inform the body, Walker Trails lodgepole fencing was complete. That took place about 2 weeks ago, so if you're in the mood to go out and take a hike or a nice trail walk in a nicely fixed and preserved lodgepole fencing trail, go check out Walker Trails. It's now fixed. Due to the burning, if you had any questions, Mrs. Price, is that the questions you had? Yeah. So Walker
what-
Trails,
how-
the lodgepole fencing was fixed.
There.
I was over there the other day,
Yes.
and I was wondering how that's going to integrate with the Walker Trail houses.
It's still in the process of development. I could definitely provide an update at the following next Sparc meeting. But in regards to the lodgepole fencing project, that's been complete. Furthermore, regarding park kiosk, I know we just approved a purchase order to get new kiosk and just essentially improve some of the aging infrastructure that we have there. So we're going to be doing some enhancements to the Walker entrance kiosk. It's a double-sided kiosk. To also include Walker East Side, it's a one-sided kiosk. To also include Mask Park West, it's a double-sided kiosk. Town Center Community Park Middle, which is a one-sided kiosk. Woodglen Vista Dog Park. It's a one-sided kiosk. And we're also going to be adding a new kiosk, brand new, never been there, to Big Rock Pickleball. So hopefully that will go well. And you'll be able to utilize it to put all your flyers and all your fundraiser activities, all your how-to pickleball lessons, and hopefully it'll be a good stationary location for it. With that said, I heard the community cleanup and paper shredding event went flawlessly. There was a lot of trash and debris that we collected, a lot of electrical equipment that we collected, a lot of shredding. So there was a ton of cleanups that took place because of that. I believe there was about 6 40-yard bins that got collected in regards to trash. I believe 1 40-yarder for electrical, and I believe 2 others for other types of waste. So that was a really busy event. Did anyone happen to go by and drop off any waste at that event? No? That was a busy weekend, right? So I want to thank some staff. I know PSD staff was out there. I know Heather Heckman was also out there, so I want to thank her for being out there. With that said, my last update is in regards to the community center. Things are moving along just fine, and I do expect a good presentation to Sparc either the second or the third quarter of this year. So I'm going to be coming back to Sparc with some good updates regarding the community center. So stay tuned. That's going to be a presentation you cannot miss. That is all.
Thank you, Nick. Ann?
I come with video, so let's show you our recap of Fido Fest.
We're here at Fido Fest, the 7th annual dog-friendly event. We are surrounded by numerous vendors. We have adoption agencies, we have various rescues, and we have a wonderful contest in front of us as well. We are so thrilled to be offering East County an opportunity to have dog-related activities and bring the rescues forefront and have all of our furry friends have a home.
See you next year. So I wanted to say congratulations to the special event staff and all of the other staff that assisted, as well as all of our partners. You'll see the sheriffs were there as well, and many other partnered groups with their adopted doggies. We did cancel it originally and rescheduled it. And then, of course, the rescheduled date rained. So we moved it very quickly. Actually, not we. My team is phenomenal, and they turned it and they put it in the parking lot, and it was so well attended and very successful. So I'm so glad they had to make a short notice turn and burn, and they totally did. So congratulations to them. They worked really hard. And we have another video about another special event we did. Once again, another successful event. Thank you to all of our volunteers and all of our partnered groups, as well as sponsorships. So that was a beautiful sunny day here in Santee. We had a great time. I wanted to let you know of a couple of more upcoming special events. There's a few pieces of information in front of you. You guys are the first ones hot off the presses to get a magnet for the summer concert series. It has the dates and all the bands that we have selected. Of course, a QR code to refer you towards more additional information. Our Friday Night Lives is a new program that we are offering. It's a Friday evening at Trolley Square throughout the end of May. The dates are on there, and a couple dates in June. We will be highlighting, we have a couple bands coming, at least one, Bill McGee, I know that he's popular. And then we also have some community outreach groups like Expressions Dance in Stomp's Music School. So we're trying to highlight those activities at Friday Night Lives. So hope to see you at all of those activities coming up. And of course, we do something on the 4th of July. More details at santeespecialevents.com. One more video, but this one's a short one. As you can tell, our spring classes and summer camps are open for registration. Registration is currently ongoing. Classes, most of them start here after spring break. We have approximately 10 weeks of summer camp located at Big Rock Park. They host field trips, swimming outing every week, as well as activities. We're currently recruiting staff. So for recreation aid and recreation leaders, if you know if anybody's looking for a summer job. Our teen center is on spring break now, so we get to actually clean a little bit, and also our staff gets to breathe a little bit. So we're on spring break, but we are continuing to partner with SD Nights, which is a county program that offers free opportunities for teens, and also our library. So we've been having a lot of teen center activities going on. We are also recruiting for people to enroll in our junior camp leader program, which is a teen program that teaches people to work with youth and participate in our summer day camp, and sometimes it even gives them experience to launch onto additional jobs in the future. Our seniors have been busy. We did have a rain delay on our central library tour, but we did go there on March 9th. April 16th, we are heading to the Getty Center on a bus tour that is sold out, and we have a waiting list. And then May 10th is our spring luncheon. So seniors are out and about. They're loving our new coordinator, Matt, who goes out and about with them. Our parks and fields have been very busy. Big Rock Pickleball has 3 upcoming fundraiser tournaments on April 15th, May 20th, and 21st. Spring sports are ongoing, Little League season, as well as girls softball. There's also other lacrosse and soccer, and they're keeping our fields very busy, as well as us hosting some private events on our Town Center Park East. We have ordered new signs for the Big Rock off-leash area. They are in production and will be arriving soon. We will be posting them. Any questions?
Any questions? Yes, Linda.
On the this lunch on May 10th, what time does that start? The senior lunch?
There is a handout at the entrance table that has the senior calendar. I want to say around 11.
Around 11?
Yeah, but if you grab the calendar, if you'd like to call and register. We have a speaker coming as well. It goes into a little bit more detail as well as the menu.
Okay. Any other questions? Are those cooking classes open for everyone, or are those just kids' cooking classes?
You're an expert. You don't need to go. It is a youth class, yes.
Thank you. Okay, is that all for your videos and coolness? Sam, what you got for us? You have any maintenance update?
I know my boss likes to hear from. Good evening, Sparc. Is this on? Check, check. Congratulations, everybody, on your nominations and seats and chair positions and everything. Real briefly, we trimmed all the trees at Mast Park. We had to close the dog park down for a couple of days, but everything is trimmed up there. Spring is in the air. The grass is starting to grow. The swallows and birds are singing, and deciduous trees are waking up and leafing out. So this is a great time of year. Plant your garden at your house, get some vegetables and good stuff in the ground, and go enjoy this beautiful spring we're having. That's all I have. Any questions? Come on, Cindy. You're usually good for one.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, congratulations, everybody.
Thank you, Sam. Okay, let's move on to community reports, general announcements, and handouts. Dean and Sparc members, anyone have a general announcement? Dan, it looks like you got one.
I was going to let somebody else go first, but come on, guys. Well, I'll do my normal Kiwanis Club update there. April 29th, we'll have the Junior Olympics over at Santana High School. And then May 20th is Special Olympics over at West Hills High School, bringing probably between 500 and 700 athletes over to compete at West Hills High School. Our Renaissance experience had to be postponed because the city wouldn't allow us to make it a mud wrestling tournament. Mm-hmm. So we're going to take. We've moved that to June 17th, and it just means that we have a little more time to make it bigger and better. So that's it.
Thank you, Dan. Yes, Miss Michelle.
So I emailed Anne and Margie about this, but I usually go to the Big Rock Dog Park in the mornings, and I haven't gone there in about a week or so. But a month ago, I asked Anne and Margie about the signs getting updated to accurately reflect the off-leash dog hours because they're very old, and right now it's just like they use stickers to kind of update the times and days of the week that you're allowed to do that sort of thing. And I was just wondering what the update is on getting brand new signs for that park.
In my staff report, I did say they are on order. They're already designed, and they're just they're in production. Yeah, they're in production. As soon as we get them, we'll bring them on up. And they're all comprehensive, and they'll be posted higher so people cannot touch them. Okay. Yes.
Cool.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Stephanie.
I mentioned to Ann and Nick, I sent them pictures of the benches over at the softball fields, how they're really, really low. And if maybe we could possibly raise them so you can get up once you sit down. That's all.
Are you referring to the new benches?
The bleachers.
Okay, the new ones, right?
The new ones, the new
new
fields,
ones.
yeah.
Thank you.
In our beautiful field over there.
Yes, Miss Linda.
I just have a comment on the bunny hop trail event. There were so many kids standing out there to take a picture with the Easter bunny that it was probably over an hour to 2 hour wait for these children in that horrible line. And I was wondering maybe for next year we could have a second station where people could actually take their little selfies of the bunnies, just something else than standing there, a line going all the way down to Target, because it was brutal. Kids were, getting overheated. Parents were going to have separated them so that they stood in line while they had to bring the little children, under shade. And a lot of complaints. A lot of people came up to me. And then another thing was, it was $15 for an image and $20 for 2 5x7s. And I felt that was kind of stiff, and then I was told that we pay them to come and do these pictures, but they're making a few $1,000s. So it just doesn't pan out, I don't think, for people that have families that have to pay that for a picture with the Easter Bunny. I mean, yeah, it was a nice setup and stuff, but I think we could do a little bit better for next year. And then on Fido Fest, I thought it was brilliant how the staff came together and pulled that one off. It was a great event. People had fun. The animals were having fun. And so it was really, really a nice thing. So that's my 2 cents.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I want to tag along that on the other stations, photo stations. I think that could be a very cheap way just to get a backdrop and hang it and put selfie stations. So the parents that don't want to sit for 2 hours to get their kids. As far as the money, I don't know anything about that. I don't know if we have an agreement. We tell them what they charge, or they're just charging a lot. But I think some selfie stations would be great on an event like that, because I know on the Christmas one, there's also a giant line for Santa pictures. And I know when my kids were younger, I would have loved to go to a selfie station and say, here's our Easter bunnies right here. And
So our agreement with them is that they do allow cell phones, photos, just so you know, you don't have to purchase one. And we do have a percentage that we work out with them financially, so it's not just money out of our pocket. But we do take your comments into consideration, and we have talked about in the future possibly having a boy bunny and a girl bunny to expedite the line, and or have a selfie station with one or the other, because, there's only one Easter bunny, so.
Yes, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, and then also inflatables are always very popular. People like to pose next to them and take photos as well. We have lots of points that we can improve our programs. We're always striving for excellence.
Thank you, Ann. Yes, Ms. Linda?
We had also had Maple, the spring deer, had showed up and saved a day, because Maple, the spring deer, the children just levitated to that thing, and it was just so nice to see. They were just so happy, and the parents were happy because they went and got their picture with that, and didn't have to wait in the giant line. Yeah, it wasn't the Easter bunny, but it was the spring, Maple, the spring deer of Santee, and the individual lives here in Santee and is a school teacher.
Excellent. Thank you much. Okay, let's move on to non-agenda public comment. Margie, how many speakers we have?
Yeah, so we have one speaker slip. Margie already handed out some additional documentation that you have. Lee Shannon.
Good evening, Lee.
We're gonna, Lee, if you could turn your microphone on. It's on. Just lean into it so we can hear you and it can be broadcasted.
Is that good? Yeah. Okay. Good evening, everyone. First, I would like to thank the members of this board for the good works that you do, making Santee a better place to live. A quick bit about myself. My name is Lee Shannon. I'm 73. I'm a retired general contractor of 43 years and a resident of Santee for over 20 years. I started playing pickleball 2 years ago, and it totally changed my life. Exercise, the mind, the body, and a fun game at that. But even more important are the wonderful friendships I've made in our Big Rock pickleball community. Before pickleball, there wasn't a lot for seniors to do who wanted to stay active. I played with 8-year-olds and all the way to 86 years old, and it's all good. I am here to request the City of Santee for $22,000 to repair and resurface 8 pickleball courts. The court surface are deteriorating at a rapid pace and has become a serious priority. Repairing and resurfacing can extend the life of the courts for 10 years. Repair costs for 8 courts in 2021 was $14,500. In January of this year, it was $23,000. Now it's escalated to $32,000. To rebuild the courts, the estimate is $80,000 per court. We cannot reach our funding goals at Big Rock privately in time to address the court repairs needed before it requires a rebuild. Early proposals in the 2023 to 2025 CIP budget are prioritizing Woodland Vista resurfacing and not Big Rock. Even though Big Rock has a much higher use, we estimate over 1,000 players per week. Sparc has provided financial support for activities for aging demographic, but has not yet supported Big Rock Pickleball, which has a similar demographic. Our funding request, if approved, a vendor is selected, the pickleball community can continue its own fundraising efforts in a non-time sensitive improvement. And I tell you, it really does change your life. We'd like to invite all of you to bring your families and come to Big Rock. We got the paddles, we got the balls. My only warning is it is addictive. It is definitely an addictive sport. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lee. No further speakers?
No, sir.
All right. Future agenda items. Next meeting is May. I'm sorry. Yes, question.
I would like to know when the last time those courts on Big Rock were resurfaced. Has it been 10 years? And can we find that out? Also, I live right around the corner from Big Rock Park, and I have been playing on those courts when I was, 14 years old. I think is when I first started playing tennis over there. And to see how everyone comes to Santee, to Big Rock Park, to that pickleball of all ages is just mind-blowing that court's finally getting the action that it should have gotten years ago. And I have a feeling it's been a long time since the city has resurfaced those courts. And it's way overdue, probably. And to make our citizens raise money to do something that I feel the city of Santee should be doing, it's kind of a tragedy. I mean, this pickleball is for all ages. And it's not just for little kids, it's not just for adults, it's all ages. And we are drawing from all demographics of East County, even up to, Encinitas is coming down here to play, for God's sakes. So I really feel that this pickleball is a real feather in our city's cap, and I think that we should be resurfacing these and maybe adding on to this court and making it a really site of pickleball. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Any other comments? Would you like to comment?
This is a monster sport. I mean, it's not just big here, it's not just big nationally, it's international now. It's just a meteoric rise.
Absolutely.
And I would agree that it really needs to be done. I don't know the protocol to work on the city council or whatever, but
and
make a recommendation and request for funding, I would like to do that.
Okay. Okay, so if we have a consensus, we can make this an agenda item, and we could talk about it and move forward. And I've supported pickleball since the beginning. I have my paddle, my bag, and my 2 balls in the closet. I just don't have any time to go out there, but I'm going to. And I want to play Dave when I'm out there because I'm new. But yes, we could bring that, we could talk about that and make it an agenda item, and then we can move forward. We could discuss it a little bit more. So let's get a consensus on this. Would everybody let's do a vote on bringing this as an agenda item. I'm sorry, Ryan, would you like to say something before we do that?
Yeah, I just wanted to suggest, as a fairly new member of this committee here, I'm sure there's lots of items that Nicholas is more familiar with than the rest of us that would be goals for us to spend money on. So maybe as an agenda item, instead of just the pickleball, it could be the top 10 goals for this committee and where that money could go. I feel like if you put a shiny object in front of us and we talk about it enough, we're all going to vote yes. Instead, I'd like to review the top 10 items that have been recommended to this committee over the last couple of years, and maybe to Nicholas or the city council, and then we could review those together as part of an agenda item.
Okay, thank you.
So I have a question. If we're bringing this back, because we're talking two different things here. This young lady here is asking Sparc to donate $22,000. You guys are talking about going to the city to get the money.
Yeah, and that's something, I understand what they're asking. They've asked on multiple occasions. I feel that maintenance in a park, in a city park, should be a city paid for thing, not a Sparc. And I do like your suggestion, Ryan, on top 10 goals for Sparc and what we aim to fund. I would support, and I do support, putting together a recommendation from this, if everyone's in consensus, for the first item, which is putting forth a recommendation to City Council to look at budgeting or moving up in the budgeting world, the resurfacing of this park. I support that because I think the city should pay for it.
Here's the issue I have with it right now. We're making a motion. We're taking action on a non-agenda public comment. We can't do that.
We're doing a consensus on putting it on the agenda.
Okay,
That's
I'll
what
agree with that.
I'll be clear at that.
Okay.
I need a consensus to add this as an agenda item for a future meeting.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd like to take right now, a consensus.
Correct.
Yes.
I think, I second what Dean just said, that putting a motion forward or something forward to city council to pay for.
So right now, we are going to take a consensus to put this on an agenda item in a future meeting, and we could discuss it further, and we could have public comment. And this, what we're putting forth is to talk about the city funding pickleball, the city, out of the city budget, at a future meeting. So I need a consensus, and then we can add this to a future agenda item for Sparc.
Okay, would you like me to just get, yes, if you'd like it to be on a future agenda?
Yes.
Anita Batista, yes or no? Okay. Dan Bickford,
Yes.
Cindy Carlton,
Yes.
Michelle Dressler? Yes. Ken Fox?
Yes.
Ryan McCarthy?
Yes.
Linda Miracle?
Yes.
Kathleen Pishney?
Yes.
Stephanie Price?
Yes.
Dr. Ellen Tuthill?
Yes.
And Dean Valesco? You definitely have consensus.
Yes. Okay, that will be a future item. Please keep an eye on the agendas in the future and bring back your folks because you'll be able to speak to that item. Okay, next meet, any other, future agenda items? We all good? Oh, yes, sir.
Well, Ryan had the one
Oh,
about.
sorry.
Yeah, that would, I think,
Let's have top 10 or
as an additional agenda item, if we could get a consensus to discuss the top 10 goals of the committee and where we'd like to see additional money spent.
So I think what we can do is just request that. That doesn't have to be an agenda because it's staff that could provide us that. So, So in the next meeting, I'm sure we'll see some action on that. Cool. Anything else? Okay. I'd like to call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.